Hey guys, I'm Jackie, a personal finance writer, AFC accredited financial coach and educator, and longtime contributor to Chime's In the Green. I want to share some simple ways you can get started saving. I hear this all the time. I really want to save, but I just don't have enough to get started. They think that something major or magical needs to happen, like getting a huge raise or windfall of cash, or a unicorn dropping off a bag of money in their lap. At one point in my life, I didn't have a lot of wiggle room to save at all. My monthly take-home pay was about $1,800, my rent was $700, and after all my bills and essentials were accounted for, there wasn't really that much left over. But I was able to save about $400 a month for my emergency fund, which added up to about $5,000 in a year. Here are my top favorite money hacks that help me save, and hopefully they can help you save too. Here's the first hack: borrow instead of buy. You can save a lot by borrowing or being gifted stuff you want or need from friends, family, your community, or even your local library. I've been a member of Buy Nothing groups for years, so I've gotten a ton of things for free. For example, I went to a black tie wedding, and to be honest, shelling out what could be hundreds of dollars on a dress and shoes just isn't on my bucket list. So I put up an in search of post in my Buy Nothing group, and someone came through. Next up, we have buy store brand instead of name brand. I love generic or store brand items. And when I go grocery shopping, I'll usually drop into my cart the generic version over the name brand. I have found that more times than not, especially for basic staples like pasta, frozen veggies, marinara sauce, and prescription meds, you're not really gonna find much difference in the way of quality or ingredients. Here's the thing: store brands can cost up to 40% less than name brand version. And get this, generic prescriptions are usually 80 to 85% less expensive than the name brand. My next hack is shop at discount grocery stores. If you're not that into lists and digital coupons, consider going to a discount grocery store. You're going to find that most items are less expensive than at a regular supermarket. So if most items are on the cheaper side, you're not gonna get brain drain from comparing products, looking for sale items, and hunting around for promotions and coupons. You're going to be saving across the board by choosing to shop there. Just try not to get too carried away by the thrill of a deal. We've all been there. Only buy as much as you need for that week or how often you tend to buy groceries. If you are a list person, one thing you can try is to create a shopping list on the grocery store's app. That way, you can see how much things will cost before you head over to the store. Let's say you've gone over your weekly budget for groceries. If that's the case, you can make trade-offs and tweaks beforehand. Next up, we have buy refurbished tech. I love buying refurbished tech whenever possible. So refurbished simply means the product has been returned or used and has been tested, repaired, and restored. So technically, you're getting the same thing for a fraction of the price. And while it depends, you can save up to 70% going that route. So when I bought a new laptop not so long ago, I went for a refurbished MacBook. Plus, I traded in my old laptop and got $300 credit, which I put toward buying my new one. I also want to mention looking for open box deals. These are things that have been returned or used slightly and can be tech, household items, even furniture. And they go for a bit of a discount. You can usually find these at big box retailers, and there might be a section at the store or on a store's website. Here's the next hack: go to students for certain services. I used to go to beauty schools and get those $20 haircuts. These services are a lot cheaper than going to a professional. Students need to get their experience hours and gain know-how to graduate. You can look into going to students for services like haircuts, massages, and chiropractic or acupuncture sessions. The trade-off, though, is that it can usually take longer than working with a pro. For example, when I went to students for haircuts, it would usually take a few hours versus, say, like an hour. Also, only work with students if you're comfortable with them. Next up, we have buy clothes during off-season. Sure, you might feel a little weird buying, say, a winter coat at the end of the season, but you can often scoop up better deals if you buy off-season and shop at sales. I usually go for those big seasonal sales or clearance racks. For example, the best time to score a winter coat is March or April. To save on clothes, you can also score a ton of freebies at clothing swaps and free markets. With free clothes, you don't often have a ton of attachment tacked to them. You're not throwing down a ton of money, so it's easier to let go of them when it's time. Here's the next hack: pretend you're camping in your own home. One way I used to save on energy bills was to act like I was camping in my place. Back in my studio, I'd hang up LED string lights. That's because LED lights use up to 75% less energy than fluorescent ones. I cooked and showered with portable lanterns, and I always made a point to turn off the lights or power surges before I left a room. It's a little bit weird and extreme, but so is glamping. Plus, I figured every bit of savings helped. Next up, we have don't use single-use items. Single-use items can be more expensive and less eco-friendly than reusable versions. And while reusable items might cost a little more upfront, you'll be saving in the long run. Instead of stuff you use around the house, like Ziploc bags, store your leftovers in washable containers. You can also use microfibers or Swedish cloths rather than paper towels, wool dryer balls rather than dryer sheets, that sort of thing. To be fair, I sometimes reuse Ziploc bags and plastic yogurt and cottage cheese tubs. Yes, I'm that person. I hope you'll find these money-saving hacks to be pretty easy and straightforward. You won't need to put in a lot of effort. And sometimes they're even fun to try out. I'm sure you'll come up with your own ideas too, but these might be worth exploring. What are some of your favorite ways to save money? Sound off in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more helpful money moves.